What's up, everybody? Happy New Year! If you have not already seen it by the title, God told me to break up with him. And let me just say, obedience is so much better than sacrifice. And if you want to follow along with any other God told me to moments, if you want to catch up on some of these, you can also purchase my book. It's called The Source, Putting God Back on the Throne. It's chock full of many different times in my life where I had to follow the voice of God whenever he was leading me to do something. So yeah, if you feel like you want to embark on the journey that I had in my younger years, in my early 20s, about things that God had been telling me to do, feel free to buy the book. It's available on Amazon, and yeah, go for it. To protect the innocent, let's name him John. Yeah, let's name him John. I was a freshman in college and he was a sophomore. In those days, I can honestly say that I was definitely a pursuer. I didn't leave much room for the chase in relationships. I was way too impatient for that. No. Now, I'm not here to hold you. John was fine. And I mean green eyes, temple blend, brown skin. I was down for the count. You hear me? He was fine. Long story short, a few months later, we began dating, and the foundation of our relationship was already unstable to begin with because he had feelings for someone else at the time. But even then, I was blinded by the blue eyes. I mean, green. I was literally thrown into his line of view after the one before me respectfully declined. What was I supposed to do? Deny myself of the opportunity to be with someone like him? I think not. So despite all of the signs and my selective sight, I decided I should roll the dice. So 1 year down. Whew, child, how can you say toxic in English? Looking back on it, I did not do relationships well. I was possessive, compulsive, impulsive, manipulative, and I had trust issues. Both of us together was dysfunctional. We pushed each other beyond our emotional boundaries and we hit below the belt. We would bust lights, storm off, throw fits, trash apartments, just to make up a few hours later. I honestly believe that this is one of the few reasons that we actually stayed together. And maybe there was this inner competition of not wanting to be a failure in the relationship. And deep down, I knew that we should probably not be together, but it was hard to let go. Why? Because I loved him. Because I didn't want to be a failure. Because I truly had hoped that things would get better. And then eventually there would be more good than there was bad. And as I recall all of these memories today, I'm realizing that our relationship could have lasted much longer and could have been a lot more meaningful and productive if we would have just stayed friends. Oh, friendship? We did that very well. We just were not soulmate material. 1 year and 10 months down. For about 4 months, I had been receiving dreams, and each of them were quite different, but all still the same. All of my dreams would be some type of conflict between me and him, an argument, some type of insecurity, just something always coming up about me and him. We argued so much. At the time, I thought, as long as you know that I love you and we get into an argument, then we're always gonna be good, because at least when I argue with you, that means I care. Thank God for growth. But God was telling me that it was time to let the relationship go. And what did I do? Oh, I said no. I said, no, thank you. I said, I'm good. I'm good. Love you. I'm good. The new year had came, and I remember being at my church service, and the pastor started prophesying. He started laying hands, and I will never forget what happened next. The very thing that I did not want God to touch, he asked for. And this is how I know that my pastor was a prophet, because he didn't know anything that I had going on, but yet he called me down to that altar and said 3 words that ruined my life. And those words were, let it go. Let it go. And when I tell y'all I manifested, I pitched a whole fit. I was crying, rolling, pleading, all over the altar, just, Lord, please, please don't take this relationship from me. I'm gonna do right. I promise I'm gonna do right if you don't take it from me, Lord. That was a clear indication. Yeah, you gotta let this go, fam. So I had to, whew, all right. At this point, I had to make a decision. Either be obedient, play dumb, play dead, or be disobedient. And unfortunately, I chose the latter. It had been about a day since the last time we argued, and I remember going into the closet and just begin to pray and, you know, write out all of the things that I wanted to accomplish for the new year, right? And I was saying that me and John were going to do this, me and John were going to accomplish this, we were going to reach these milestones. Listen, I wrote his name on basically everything that I wanted to accomplish in that year. And God said, hey, you are literally putting so much expectation on this relationship that you don't even seek me anymore. You don't even want to get to know me anymore. You don't even hunger for me anymore. If you're not going to give it to me, I'm going to take it. Lo and behold, y'all, I cannot make this up. As soon as I walked out of that closet, the ink didn't even dry on the paper, fam. Me and John got into yet another argument, and that pulled the last straw on his patience. John said, it's over. We're done. I had to pick my face up off the ground. And so I went through a season of grief, just grieving the separation of an old season. And I began to fall head over heels for God, because it opened my eyes to the idea, or to the truth, that He loved me so much that He was not willing to let me stay in a dead-end relationship. No matter how much I wanted it, no matter how much I thought it was good for me, He saw that I would be here in my future and said, that is not going to be beneficial for what I have for you. And so when He cut it off, and even looking back on it now, I kind of get overwhelmed, because like, yo, you love me way too much. Here we are, 4 years later, and I have not been dating. I have not been on a real date in about 4 years. Well, half of the time that I was not dating was because I wanted to grow in my relationship with God. And then the other half was honestly involuntary. I was literally hidden. Nobody saw me. Everybody knew me, but nobody saw me, if that makes sense. Like, I know I'm dope. I am beautiful in so many different ways. Although I have a very pleasant physical appearance, there was something that God wanted to do in my heart that people could not see just yet. Within that time, I have found my identity. I've learned so much about myself, my gifts, my talents, my skill sets, without the distraction of dating, without trying to make somebody else my priority. God has really shown me how important I really am, or how impactful I can really be. So God told me to break up with him. And although it was a little rough, God opened my eyes, showed me so many things about myself that I cannot wait to share with whoever He has for me next. The only reason He's asking this of you is because He wants to see what you're bowing to. And even more, to open your eyes to the potential that you have that you don't even know that you have yet. So break up with him, sis. cut the ties, sir. Do what you have to do to get to where God needs you to be. Follow me as I continue to journey with y'all on a lot of the stories that I have, that God has told me to do things. Whether obedient or disobedient, the will of the Lord still prevailed. So I can't wait to catch y'all in the next one.
Girl, I know, right? I'm out here making these videos trying to make God's name great, and they are just not buying it.
Hey, how y'all doing? We just talking about how much we love y'all. Make sure you hit that subscribe button real quick and a little notification bell on the side just to let you know whenever I'm posting, because honey, as you can see, I be posting, but y'all don't be seeing, and we need to fix that, okay? And last but not least, like this video simply because you love me, and like always, I'll catch y'all later. Bye.